All right, so there's so much more I wanted to cover, but I am running out of time and I'm fading. I'm not gonna lie. I would be able to, I could go on for another hour, but I am fading fast, guys. So I gotta tuck myself back into bed so I could heal and we could do this again tomorrow. Um, Wanted to talk about the terrible Rafah offensive, the fact that the State Department has said, no, this didn't cross the red line, even though we're seeing charred bodies of children, decapitated children. I mean, just absolutely horrific images that have come out of Rafah. Um, we also see Nikki Haley going and signing an artillery shell, finish them, which, no matter which side you're on when it comes to military conflict, we should never be celebrating death. Death should always be something that it's unfortunate that it got to this point. It's unfortunate that we're having to battle it out with somebody, even when you consider them a bad guy. You would have to think that at some point they weren't a bad guy, and it's unfortunate that it got to this point, right? But instead, we celebrate death. You've got a bunch of Israelis on Telegram, disgusting Telegram channels. They're celebrating the deaths of these children. They're posting pictures of kids. They are laughing at this. This is not just a fringe few, but hundreds of thousands of Israelis on Telegram celebrating death. We see images of Israelis sitting on the mountainside or the hillside overlooking Gaza, watching the bombs drop, cheering, laughing, celebrating. Who are we? What have we become? Are we the good guys? Are we the good guys when we see these types of horrific images and people celebrating and laughing and saying, nah, that didn't cross our red lines as a country? What have we become is one big question that I certainly have. I could go on about that, and maybe we will later on in the week, but I want to get to something else that I found quite fascinating during the break. And this was the recognition of the Palestinian state. So now we're seeing Ireland, Norway, and Spain have recognized Palestine as a legitimate state. We see actually this is the Palestinian flag flying in Ireland. Here's the Spanish Prime Minister recognizing Palestinian statehood. Okay, so these are their sovereign nations. They've decided that Palestine is a sovereign nation. They've decided that the capital is in East Jerusalem, and they're wanting to recognize Palestine as a state. What's interesting about this is how Israel has reacted to this. So here is the Israeli foreign minister, and this is what he tweeted, and he also issued a letter that I'm going to read to you. But this is what he tweeted after these countries have come out saying that they're going to recognize Palestine. He tweets out saying, let's see, here it is. He says, this morning I instructed the Israel MFA to send a diplomatic note to the Spanish embassy in Israel prohibiting the Spanish consulate in Jerusalem from conducting consular activities or providing consular services to residents of the Palestinian Authority. We will not remain silent in the face of government that rewards terror and whose leaders chant the anti-Semitic slogan, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Those who reward Hamas and attempt to establish a Palestinian terror state will have no contact with the Palestinians. The days of the Inquisition are over. Today, the Jewish people have a sovereign and independent state, and no one will force us to convert our religion or threaten our existence. Those who harm us, we will harm in return. Fascinating tweet. Let me actually just read to you also the letter that he wrote. So his letter says, let me just pull this up in front of me. The Minister of Foreign Affairs presents its compliments to the Embassy of, does it say compliments? It says compliments to the Embassy of Spain and following the Spanish government's decision to recognize the state of Palestine and the inciting and hateful anti-Semitic statements made by senior Spanish officials, including Deputy Prime Minister Yolanda Diaz, who was seen chanting the slogan, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. The ministry wishes to notify the embassy of the following. The ministry finds such statements to be an affront to Israel's sovereignty and security. At the instruction of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, as of June 1st, as of June 1st, the Consulate General of Spain in Jerusalem may provide consular services strictly to residents of the Consular District of Jerusalem. The Consulate General or anyone on its behalf may not provide services to residents of the Palestinian Authority, nor may it perform any consular or other functions outside the District of Jerusalem without prior written consent from the ministry. This policy does not apply to consular services for Spanish citizens. If this policy is not respected, the ministry will not hesitate to take further actions. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs avails itself of this opportunity to renew the Embassy of Spain the assurances of its higher consideration. A bunch of gobbledygook. But basically what he's saying is, don't you dare give any consular services to the Palestinians. We are in control. We control everything. And we are controlling that you will not be allowed to give any services to the Palestinians. How is that possible? How are they able to do that? How are they able to basically say, you as a sovereign nation are not allowed to offer consulate services to another sovereign nation in their sovereign territory, what is supposed to be their sovereign territory? So what this proves is that Israel is 100% in control of Palestine. They believe that they are in control of Palestine. They believe that the creation of a Palestinian state is an affront to their sovereignty. They don't want it. They're not ever aiming to get peace. He clearly, as Day said, you recognizing this other country in, by the way, not Gaza, but in the West Bank, you recognizing this Palestinian state, how dare you, is an affront to Israeli sovereignty. How is that possible? If they're so adamant on a two-state solution, but it's the Palestinians who keep getting in the way of a two-state solution. It's the Palestinians who keep rejecting peace. It's the Palestinians' fault. It's not the Israelis. They're the good guys. They've been wanting a two-state solution this whole time. Really? Well, if you've wanted it, why isn't there one? In fact, the fact that these countries now, Ireland, Norway, Spain, could just suddenly say, we now recognize a Palestinian state, it so now exists, shows how easy it is. Why didn't they do this 75 years ago? Why haven't they done this the entire time and said, Palestine is a state, Israel's a state, Palestine's a state. You're equal states. Have at it. Do what you will, right? These are states. No, they gave Israel a state, but they denied the Palestinians a state the entire time. They've said to them, you got to work for it. We got to negotiate more. We got to do, negotiate more. This is something that France has said. France will not come out and recognize a Palestinian state. There's a lot of people in France who are demanding this. France is refusing to do it. France says, well, there needs to be more negotiation first. What negotiation? Did the Israelis have to negotiate with the Palestinians on the creation of the creation of Israel? No, they didn't. They didn't have to negotiate. Israel's formed. Israel's a country. Many recognize Israel. Not everybody in the world recognizes Israel, but certainly the United States does, and certainly France does. So what negotiation does there need to be? Just draw the borders, draw the damn borders, and say this is a state and this is a state. You have now encroached on this state. You need to get the heck out of that state. That is what should have been done a long time ago. They should have said the West Bank, Gaza, 1967 borders, that's Palestine, Israel. If you continue to invade them, and you build settlements, then we will defend them from that invasion. We'll send people, or we certainly aren't going to defend you in your invasion of Palestine. These Arab countries will come, they will help defend them, and you're on your own because you're infringing, you're breaking the law. That is so basic, logical. But for whatever reason, it's a complicated conflict. It's complicated. We can't do that. It's too complicated. It's not complicated at all. And the fact that Ireland, Norway, and Spain have just suddenly declared it a nation shows how not complicated it is. Thank you for watching this clip from the full Kim Iversen show, which you could catch just by heading to that link down below, KimIversonShow.com. You can watch the full show from what you just watched, or you can catch the full show live Monday through Friday, live streams, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. See you then. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Never miss an episode. Never miss a clip. Never miss a segment. Thanks, guys.